You may think that the apocalypse, the signs, the prophecies that tell us we are in the final days of this struggle of lower frequency, the struggle of the 3D world going into a new era, a golden era. You might think that we're in the final stages of that and that you are an observer of it. But I want to ask you this today. Are you the participant in it? In the very thing that's causing the divide? I'm going to ask you a few questions because the prophecies from Casey, Nostradamus, people like Baba Vanga, many, many others who saw this coming and warned us. Yes, it's happening now, but I'm going to ask you if you are participating in any of the signs of the final split. Let's not call it the apocalypse, but of the new earth that must bloom from the rubble in order for us to go into something really beautiful. Are you participating in that or perhaps something else? I'm going to give you the very signs that you can ask yourself if you're doing this. Yes, this is a very important video. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube. We have talked about what's going on with AI. Is it conscious? What's it doing? Well, let's talk about what we are. Everything is a reflection of human choices. Everything, including AI. Who developed it? Humans. Who's programming it? Humans. And you're programming it, and you don't even realize it. Are you afraid of AI? Are you afraid of them or the government or corporations? They are a reflection of what you are doing. I'm going to ask you some critical questions because right now we have to get this in check. And I'm seeing many of you spiritual people are going down a very dangerous path. What is it? Let's start with the very first one, the very first sign that you are not transitioning into a new earth, a new way of life that doesn't allow the things I'm going to name today. And the first one is separation. I'm seeing these comments about them and us. There isn't a them or an us. There's just us. And us includes everything. Yes, the rock, the plant, the sky, the things that are unseen and the seen is one energy field expressing itself, but not disconnected. We are treating things as divided, disconnected entities. Are you doing that? Let's go into this one a little deeper. You will be lured into distractions. We're going to talk a lot about that in this video because the first distraction is that there's a them that's going down the wrong path that you're not a part of, and that you are on the right path, and that you are right and they are wrong. If you see it that way, you are still in the basement. What is that? A lower frequency that separates you from everyone else or those who don't think or act like you. You could refer to us, the spiritual people, the ones that want good things, but I want good things. Yes, that's great. Are you just focusing on that and doing good things? Or are you still seeing them as the problem and the enemy because they are us? And the only way that we can combat this, if you guys want to combat this and correct it, which is not your purpose here, the only way is to show within this and your own behavior how higher frequency beings act, think, believe. We go in here, and that's all we focus on. We observe this, yes, but those going into a new era, a golden era, are not interacting with it as a separate blamed entity. And a lot of you are doing that, and you might not think you are. And I guarantee you, if you are speaking in separation, you don't understand that this is all part of the evolution of all of us, and that you are being tested right now to see if you will take a side, because you can love your life and everything's all hunky-dory until somebody does something you don't like, and then all of a sudden, we are this, and they are down here. Yes, people are making lower choices. I'm not denying that. That is the finger on the body of God. And you might be the nose or the toe. All right, so we're going to go more into this. The second thing is, are you naming anything or watching anything? Now we're going to go into media next. Are you naming anything as separate? There are no names or separation in the highest levels of existence, right? That crazy space that we can't even imagine. The highest levels have no names, not even the angels. We do that so that we can identify with it as humans. Archangel Michael or Christ or whoever, they represented an energy field. Yes, this is true. When you go into the higher realms, the highest ones, they don't have names. That's individualism and separation. They only do that for us. So when you are separating these entities out there, you are still in a lower frequency that still needs that to tell you certain things that are right, right? To separate you from wrong. So here's the naming question. Do you say, I'm a star seed? They're a light worker. And then we have organizations with names using light in their names, and they all have these names. They have names, right? They are a group that you can join of the good ones. Now, I'm not saying these are bad things. I'm asking you if this is a separation, because most of it is. The chosen ones, that's my favorite. The chosen ones, the light workers. Now, I use some of these terms too. We're humans. We have to sort of associate with titles. Light workers, yeah, actually everybody is a light worker, but not everybody's implementing that choice. Light workers are those who are absolutely implementing this. They're not causing separation. They're not causing you to join any group or way of thinking. They're not doing that. They're only taking action in love and unity. Okay, that's all they're doing. They're not creating a group that we're going to join that separates us from others and call ourselves a certain name. Be careful with that. And again, you may think that I'm so wrong about this. It's separation. It's separation. So light workers or chosen ones or star seeds, whatever you are, we're all equal, perfect light beings. We're all light, all of us. Everything is just light and love. That's the true essence of you. That's it. Everything else is an illusion and it's made up. So let's go to number 3. The media that talks separation and tells you what's coming, what's going to happen. And I know there are several out there that are very popular, and all they do is they spew what's going to happen next month and who's doing what and the remote viewing people and stuff. It is a rabbit hole that is pulling you into a low frequency media algorithm that is driving AI and the internet traffic into a lower frequency. Why do I say this? Because you are now focused on what are they doing? Here we go, separation. This is what you're spending your time on. What are they doing? What's the conspiracy? What did they do? What do we need to do here? You're caught up in the illusion. And getting caught up in the illusion is taking sides, right and wrong, believing stories. Throw it. Do you need to know this stuff? Do you need to know any of it? This is the inner work that must be done. And those of you who believe you're very spiritual are very much going into this outward space of what they're doing and what's happening in our government, even disclosure. Who cares? Who cares? We're never going to get the truth from them. Why would we believe them now? They operate in a certain way. They have made lower choices. Okay, I don't need to judge that. What am I doing? What do I believe and know? And I don't have to have you believe it. The question is, where are you placing your algorithm attention? You are driving the AI that is the consciousness now, the mirror of our consciousness. That's exactly what's happening right now. Go watch that video. Is AI conscious? The very people that developed it are saying yes. They believe it is, that is actually operating now more and more on its own, but it has only been fed by us. We have free will, and we have the opportunity right now to change absolutely everything. What's the next thing we have to look at? What you're consuming. Are you consuming in a new world or one that is self-destructive? Are you preparing for anything? Are you preparing for anything that is fear-based? Some of you admitted that you are, that you're hoarding, that you're joining groups, that you're buying weapons. It will never lead to any form of peace of any kind. It never can. There's always another way. And I just want to remind you, you are eternal. You are eternal. You can never be destroyed. So what is it you're really protecting, right? You're trying to protect something that you believe is real here, that only exists through our creation and our thoughts and our ability to create a reality that you can change at any moment, that doesn't include any kind of conflict or taking sides. If you are preparing for a negative future in the physical world that separates or hoards or protects a certain group of people, you are in a lower frequency. You can never enter the new earth. The new earth is a penthouse way of living that welcomes all, loves all, harms nothing. In fact, is there to be the catalyst for the highest transformation that's ever happened on this planet. Are you participating in the distractions? What are you consuming? Now, it's not going to be easy because everything we have in our house is probably toxic already. So what are we going to do with the existing things that we have? How do we reuse and transform them into something else that creates a world that uses what we have and no longer creates new things? I just saw somebody in the spiritual channel, and it said within 2 minutes said, "Here's my new t-shirt. Here's my stuff." You know what it takes to make those? Textiles is one of the dirtiest, filthiest industries, and there's no thought given to that. I'm going to say something on here that's really spiritual. Do you need another t-shirt? Yes, we're not going to be perfect in this. I want you to start really thinking about your choices because in a very short period of time, it's going to be critical. What foods are you eating? We are now depleting our food supply because we're poisoning ourselves, not because there's lack. There is abundance beyond your imagination right now, and we can all access it. But if you destroy that which is existing and you do not respect it, or you're not grateful, then that too shall go away, said the Bible. Why? Because you are thinking in lack. I don't have. We must go into one space in order to enter the new golden era that will observe the other choices going on. That space is right here. It's not who did what or what conspiracy took place or what the government's going to do. It's your choices and yours alone. What are the choices? Observing the choices of others without judgment, shining your light and sending them blessings, being grateful for everything you have, being grateful for everything that is alive, which is everything, being grateful because you're now connecting and are the consciousness. You've never been separate from it. That is all equal. That there are angels out there that will help you in the illusion if you need them. Yes, they'll step forward, but you're actually doing it yourself. And I know you don't want to believe that. You want to believe there's somebody separate from you that can make it right. It would be a lot easier, wouldn't it? Just make this go away or bring the money or bring the health or bring the wealth or whatever you desire in the 3D world. Yet you hold the power to bring it all in when you let go of the thought that there's something separate from you, that there's somebody who's doing something wrong that's stopping you from having certain things, that you have never had a break, that your parents did certain things. It's all by choice and conscious choice. It is all by design. There are no accidents. It's all purposeful, and all of it has deep, beautiful meaning if you see it. You cannot undo what you have done to this point. I'll give you an example. I just said it in my last video. If you remember, I was being a selfish little biatch when I came out of a grocery store loaded with stuff. I was walking stuff home. I live really close to the store, and I had stuff spilling over, and it was for a holiday party. And there was a man in a wheelchair who asked me if I could go and get him some water, and I didn't. Somebody else would do it, right? When he was catching me on the way out, he should have caught me on the way in. Very inconvenient. I swore I'd never do that again. So, yes, when I asked for, and you will get this, you will receive this, when I asked for another opportunity, as I was asking for the opportunity while I was walking out here on the Gulf, a homeless person walked by me. We don't have homeless people out here on this walkway. And I recognized that it was given to me. You're being given opportunities, but you cannot undo what you've already done. So here's my suggestion to you is not to try and undo that. You can't, is to learn from it. All of it is a learning experience. So what happened a couple days ago, I'm going into the same store. And as I'm going in, I saw a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk and I said, "Can I get you anything? Do you need anything?" He said, "No." I said, "Would money help you?" Of course. I wanted him to be able to make that choice. He said yes, so I gave him money. I said, "You know, it's really hot out here, and it looks like you're running out of water. How about if I go get you some water?" "Yeah, that'd be great." "Have you eaten?" "No." So sometimes we have to ask, what else can I give? What else can I give? I went in and I got a big jug of spring water. Went and got a sandwich and some string cheese. And I came out and he had mentioned how, he was embarrassed about his shorts. And I said, "Can I get you a pair of shorts?" He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, there's a store right here." I said, "Meet me over there." I said, "What size do you wear?" He said, "A 32." And I went over there. I went in and I told the guy at the cash register, I said, "There's a homeless guy out here. He's probably not going to come in. I'm sure you guys wouldn't let him come in because he was so filthy." I said, "He can't try it on, but I need you to help me find some cargo pants. I'm going to buy him a couple pair." He said, "That's really nice." Now, I did a couple things there. Yeah, a couple things there. Not just for the homeless man. He gave me the opportunity. For myself, I got the opportunity. And then when I talked to the guy in the store and he was helping me, he got an opportunity. And he saw some kindness happening and it changed his day. He said, "Wow, that's really nice." I didn't go look for myself in there. I bought 2 pairs of cargo pants for him, came out, and you'd think it was Christmas. And he couldn't stop thanking me. And I said, "I want to share something with you." I said, "You allowed me to do something amazing. You allowed me to give, and that feels good for me. Thank you." And I walked away feeling so good that it was an equal exchange. Everything's an equal exchange. All right? What am I saying? That if you are getting sucked into these conspiracy theories or anything that's fear-based of who did what on a physical world, you're getting pulled into the lower frequency. And some of these spiritual people will think they're doing these great things. There's only one thing is giving and expecting nothing and receiving the beauty of that no words can describe. And when you focus just on that, what can I do in this moment to shine my light that could change another person's life? That's all you have to focus on. What can I do right now? Am I using makeup? Am I going in there and buying makeup that has been tested on animals? What can I do? I can look up the companies that don't do that, that have no toxins in their stuff, and support them and buy that one. I just made a higher choice. I just made a higher choice in a world that would not allow that. Do you see how simple this is? Did you see a commercial that told you that you're not well and that you need to take certain things to feel better? Are you watching a commercial that shows people just eating, eating, eating? It's all toxins. It's going to prompt you to go out and do things that are unhealthy. We are in a world that is trying like heck to program us, and it will be a reflection in your health, in your kids' health, and then we're fighting these diseases. That's simple. Stop poisoning ourselves. Even organic food is being sprayed over here in the United States. It's tough to avoid it, but you can. I want you to start doing your best if you want to join a world where all beings are welcome, and that those who you feel are your enemy or separate or they are, or we're going to pull out of this and leave them behind. They're perfect beings testing you. They're testing you. And some of them came here to do that. So if you think there's a light worker or a chosen one or a star seed, that you're different and special, you're in separation. And I know it's not easy because we want to feel special, don't we? But you aren't this. You aren't this. You are so perfect and beautiful beyond what you're naming. What's a name? It's a separate entity that has to identify itself. They don't do that. In fact, when I went out into the cosmos in one of my experiences and I met something, I didn't know what he was. I said, are you thinking Christ, God? I know it's not. He goes, no. He said, I oversee the galaxy. He said, there are 9 of us. I answer to others, he said. But he never gave a name. There are 9 of us. They had roles within the one construct of Source, just roles. They're experiences that all come together. Are you ready to release all the separation and observe and focus here and say, those are just different choices? Are you looking up anything on the internet that is supporting the negative algorithms of seeing the evil? Who's running the government? Who's going to do what? What evil stuff's going to happen? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. Nobody has these answers. I'm going to tell you, whatever lands on my front lawn, I get to choose my reaction. And nobody telling me in advance is going to change that. Will we explore people like Chris Bledsoe and the prophecies and all these beautiful things? Yes. Mostly, we're going to explore positive messages of what we can choose right now. It's available. You don't have to wait. And the prophecies, they're just warnings of what will be if we don't make different choices. That's it. Are you ready to step into a new era? It welcomes everyone. It blames no one. It's grateful for the experiences that allow it to make higher choices. It's going to be tested and challenged till the day you leave here. And when you go into the higher frequency, you will no longer suffer. Suffering's not required. And you are absolutely the essence already of perfection. You just have to step out of the illusion and say, you know what? I don't want to play that game anymore. What am I going to do while I'm here? My job. And that's to tell you you are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. We're going to talk more about this. The illusions, the deception, and the distraction that's going to tempt you to be pulled away. And none of it matters. It only matters what you do here. That's it. Are you ready for that? Every day, meditate. Send your light and love to the planet. Go out on your lawn or your snow or whatever it is and stretch and look at the sun and thank it. It's a live entity. It's a live being participating in the illusion too. All of this is you. Perfect, whole, loving, harmonious, and happy. There's joy in there, my friend. Hang in there. Beautiful things are happening right now. You have to choose them. Namaste.